And here we are on the field. I'll leave you to Verone and Darius Johnson to take you through the team introductions.
Welcome back for the second match of the second half of Day 1. We have CVA versus DarkSide, and CVA are fielding 3 Drakes, 2 Sabres, a Dramiel, a Scimitar, a Hugin and 2 Rooks.
And for DarkSide we have a Claymore, a Dramiel, Maelstrom, Maelstrom, Jaguar, Dramiel, Maelstrom, Dramiel, Thrasher, Scimitar.
Again, we see the trio of battleships from DarkSide. We're just waiting for the countdown and local now from CCP Claw, and we'll be underway. It's interesting to see actually that DarkSide is once again, as many other teams have, brought the logistics pilot in at range in hope of prolonging his life a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and one of the other interesting things I think I see here is on the CVA side, there's a bit of a mix of ECM.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting, and straight away there we have the match underway. Not a lot of damage being dealt initially.
No, just maneuvering for position. DarkSide's popped a bunch of drones.
Yeah, we can see mainly Vespa EC600s and Valkyrie 2s from the DarkSide team. Their Dramiels have just absolutely screamed across the field towards the CVA team there at like 3 kilometers a second to start pinning and tackling those guys.
And I think now we're seeing some damage on the Thrasher for DarkSide, but it was immediately right back up.
Yep, the Scimitar pilot doing an excellent job there. Not really a lot of damage going on other than the attack on that Thrasher, who is, just took a hell of a lot of armor damage in one go there.
Yeah, somebody was like, whoops. And we're also seeing on the DarkSide side, Dramiel losing shields at this point. That Thrasher was rep back up by the Scimitar pilot, and the Dramiel's about to drop.
And there goes the Dramiel. We can see one of the Rooks from the CVA team starting to take shield damage, but Melina Phoebe from CVA there in the Scimitar is actually coping with that quite well.
Yeah, I think they've switched targets over to one of the other Dramiels.
Yep, we can see a second Dramiel there for DarkSide taking a bit of a beating, but their Scimitar pilot once again seems to be dealing quite well with the situation. It's quite a skilled job for logistics pilots, and generally this tournament tends to be make or break to see whether they can handle being switched around and flipped between targets.
Yeah, you do see a lot of that, and I think and that Dramiel's gone. And now we're seeing one of the Rook on the CVA side at about half shields.
Yep, it looks as if they might actually get this Rook if the Scimitar pilot from CVA doesn't get a finger out. But yeah, we can see one of the Thrashers there from DarkSide sitting at about 25% armor, but his logistics pilot and the Scimitar's actually picked the whole of his shield back up for him.
Yes, Willy Fast Fingers they call him.
You can see there the Jaguar for DarkSide is gone instantly, obliterated in about 3 volleys.
Yeah, and that CVA Rook is now almost out of shields.
It looks also as if they're trying to confuse the CVA Scimitar pilot. One of their Rooks. Oh, did we just lose one of their Rooks there?
Either that or it magically vanished.
Yep, it would appear that one of the Rooks from the CVA team has vanished. It's not on my overview at all. Whether that was a boundary violation or whether he just decided he didn't want to play anymore is entirely to be decided.
At this point in time, they're kind of spreading their fire around. I'm seeing hits on a couple of DarkSide ships, specifically the Maelstrom and the other Dramiel, or the last Dramiel.
It actually looks like it actually looks like those Maelstroms alphaed that Rook in one. That's the way it definitely looks. It looks as if the ECMs come off them, they failed their cycle, and those 3 Maelstroms have just flattened it in one go, which is a pretty impressive alpha from the DarkSide team.
Yes, and that last Dramiel's gone. And they're starting to chew up the other DarkSide Dramiel.
Yeah. Thing to have on the field, but well, 3 Drakes and the Scimitar still in the field for CVA. Somehow I think that they're going to be able to keep under those the tracking on those Maelstroms, because they appear to be artillery fitted.
And I just got an update from Claw. The Rook went out of bounds, and that's why it vanished so fast.
Ah, there we go. Claw using his enormous hammer of death.
And that DarkSide Dramiel's still hanging on with his shields going up and his almost just over 50% structure. He's a little Dramiel that could.
Indeed. Scimitar Pilot keeping him alive by the skin of his teeth there, actually. You can see there the DarkSide team have looked like they've switched their damage to Melina Phoebe of CVA, who's flying a Scimitar for CVA.
Yes, that Scimitar at about 50% shields right now. And they're still concentrating on that DarkSide Dramiel. But he's getting repped up pretty well. Oh, and it looks like they've switched targets to the DarkSide Scimitar, which is now taking armor damage, and is dropping fast, and is dead.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem for the DarkSide team, and it is gone, it is down and out, so I'm expecting now pretty much just the missile span from these three Drakes to chew through at least the Destroyer and the Frigate. Those three Maelstroms, not sure exactly how they're tanked, but if they're damage fitted, they certainly won't be armor tanked, so it's going to be interesting to see. I'm probably banking on them being shield tanked, buffered, to go with the logistics ship, so it might just be a matter of CVA having to wear these guys down.
Yeah, we just had the DarkSide Thrasher drop.
Yep, so on the field now, for CVA we have 3 Drakes, 2 Sabres, a Dramiel and a Hugin. We have 3 Maelstroms, a Claymore and a Dramiel on the field for DarkSide, so no logistics pilots actually remaining on the field now.
And it looks like DarkSide switched fire over to the Hugin. He's almost out of shields.
Yeah, we've just lost another Dramiel there for... And we just lost yet another Dramiel for the DarkSide team. The 3 Drakes from CVA hanging in there.
And something else just dropped too, but for the life of me I didn't see what it was.
That was the CVA Hugin has just vanished in a big blue flash. Now the field stands at 3 Drakes, a Sabre and a Dramiel for CVA. We have 3 Maelstroms, the trio of battleships, plus a Claymore on the field for DarkSide.
And CVA's Saber's taken a beating and it's gone.
Yeah, this could turn around actually. This may go the way of DarkSide by some strange fluke, but they've still got a lot of DPS on the field. So if they can keep those Drakes at bay and chew through them fast enough before the Drakes chew through their buffers, then it shouldn't be an issue for them.
Well, never say die. That's what I always say. Don't stop believing. That Dramiel's taking shots now from CVA. And it's dropping fast.
And he's down and out. Okay, so 3 Drakes left on the field for CVA, 3 Maelstroms and a Claymore, and it looks like this has turned around for DarkSide after losing the logistics first. Looks as if Maelstrom might actually, it looks as if DarkSide might actually take this with the 3 Maelstroms.
That may very well be the case. We have a CVA Drake now at, his shields are almost gone, and once his shields are gone, he's not going to last.
Yep, as someone has just pointed out there in Alliance Tournament Public, our in-game channel, this probably is going to be a snooze fest, and we're just going to pretty much watch these 3 Drakes get chewed up now.
Well, that's okay, because missiles have really nice animations.
This is true. It's very pretty, and it pleases us a lot.
Down to 2 Drakes for CVA side, 3 Maelstroms and a Claymore on DarkSide. And one of the CVA Drakes now hitting 50% shields. And that's going to drop pretty fast.
Yeah, it looks as if the CVA team have actually split their damage between, or what's left of the CVA team, have split their damage between the two Maelstroms of DarkSide, but it's not really going to do much. The second Drake for CVA now, well, I was going to say into armor, but well into structure now and on his way down.
Yes, and he's gone. Leaving us with 1 Drake on CVA side, and still the 3 Maelstroms and the Claymore on DarkSide. And I think this is pretty much done.
Yep, that Drake pilot is going to have a pretty painful, horrible, fiery, explosive death in a few seconds, and we'll probably call a match for DarkSide, I think.
Well, he could do something magical, but I doubt it.
Yeah, we can see there are 3 Maelstroms in the Claymore for DarkSide still on the field. Actually quite surprising. I was expecting CVA to take this, to be honest. Well, before I saw the setups at least. But with that much alpha on the field from the Maelstroms for DarkSide, who are actually incidentally autocannon fitted, we've just checked, would be it's definitely swung the way of those guys.
Well, I'm sure it didn't help having their rook go out of bounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the turning points in the match. It was definitely one of those things. But those Maelstroms are actually steaming across the arena now to chase that Drake. They're doing like, they've peaked out at 1600 meters a second, so they're definitely micro warp drive fitted with a shield buffer tank.
And that Drake is down to 25% shields, and I give it about, I don't know, 13 more seconds as the crow flies.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about Kaldari ships is they always give a lovely explosion right after their shield vanishes because they just have no hit points under it. And there we go, we can hand back to Soundwave as DarkSide take the match.
Thank you very much. One of the old established alliances, CVA, taking a loss to DarkSide. Next up, we have Dead Terrorists versus the 2 previous tournament winners, Pandemic Legion. That's at 1900 Eve, so stay right here. We're going to set the teams up and be right back.